Hey everyone, it's me Jasmine again and welcome to the best day of my life. As you may know, or maybe you don't know, because I keep getting the same questions over and over and over about how I came to live in Japan, I made a free infographic about everything I utilized to get me here to Japan and get everything that I have. There is a link in the description box below. It includes everything from living in Japan for free like I did, getting your visa, socializing, because loneliness and depression is a real thing here. But all of that is included in my free infographic in the description box below. Kind of branching off of that infographic, today I wanted to share with you my monthly expenses, just because I get questions about how much one needs to live in Japan every month. Like that is such, I don't even know how to answer that question, but I'm just going to give you my information and hopefully you can use that. Hopefully it answers your question. Of course, because I am not you, because I have different spending habits, how much I spend, my expenses are not probably gonna look anything close to yours, but I'm just like sharing my information because hopefully it can help someone out there. Let's start with living expenses. So here in Japan, I live in a shared residence of about 55 people. If an apartment is too expensive for you, then I recommend share residences, social apartments, or share houses. A share house is just a basic house and you just share it with other people. A social residence or a social apartment or a share residence, whatever. These are basically where you have your own room or your own apartment and you just share parts of the building. So again, like I live in a building of about 55 people. I have my own room. I have my own balcony, bed, desk, a lot of closet space, and a refrigerator. But I share the bathrooms, showers, kitchen, dining room, theater, and gym. So what I like about share residences and social apartments, I don't really like share houses that much, but what I like about these like social apartments and social residences is that I feel like I get so much more compared to if I had my own apartment. There are apartments that are about the same price to how much I pay here. So I pay 59,600 yen every month for this share residence. And again, there are apartments that you can get like for the same price, but when I was looking, many of those apartments, the toilet is in the same room as the shower, and I'm traumatized about wet toilet paper. Like, that's like another story. I don't even think I want to tell you guys that story, but I'm traumatized with wet toilet paper, so I cannot live in an apartment where the toilet is in the same room as the shower. But anyway, there are apartments that you can get for the same price as I pay as this social residence. So if you would like something similar to my setup, please check the description box below and my infographic to find a share house or social residence that is most suitable for yourself. Next is transportation. So if you are living in Tokyo, I cannot speak for any other city in Japan, and the rest of Japan is very different to Tokyo. But if you are living and working in Tokyo, most likely or usually your employer is going to pay your transportation fees. If you are being interviewed for a Japanese company or a company here in Japan and they do not mention transportation costs or transportation reimbursement, ask about it, because the transportation costs, they add up really quickly. I spend about 20,000 yen a month for my transportation, and I work in 3 different prefectures. So like this number is probably going to be very different to how much you spend. My job reimburses me about more than half of what I spend for transportation. So it's not really me like spending the money. Well, it's me spending the money up front, but like, yeah, transportation can get really expensive. So that is definitely something that you should factor in when you're trying to budget your time here in Japan. Next is socializing. So usually if I'm hanging out with my friends on a weekend night, it will almost always include an izakaya. And an izakaya is just a Japanese style pub or Japanese style bar. When we go to an izakaya, we usually do a nomi hodai. And a nomi hodai is all you can drink, and yes, it is awesome. In the States, we only have all you can eat. Why don't we have all you can drink? Actually, I think I can answer that question. Never mind. Here in Japan, they have nomi hodais, and I want to say the average price is about 2,500 yen, which is roughly $25. If I'm going hard with my friends, most likely after the izakaya, we're going to karaoke. We don't really go to the clubs much, but yeah, we're probably going to do karaoke, but I haven't been to karaoke for a really long time. So in my final calculation of my expenses, I'm not going to include the karaoke price. So I spend about $2,500 going out with my friends just to an izakaya. Sometimes after the izakaya, we may go for dessert or something. So in total, with the 2,500 nomi hodai, and oftentimes it comes with food. Afterwards, we get desserts sometimes. I want to say in total I spend about maybe 4,500 yen just hanging out on the weekend. I haven't been to karaoke for a really long time, but I think it's because I've been getting self-conscious because my friends keep telling me well, you guys have seen in the live stream. I'm not gonna go down that route. Recently, I haven't been going out to karaoke that much, so I'm not going to include that expense in my overall expenses, what I'm gonna tell you guys. So that's the 4,500 yen for going out. If it's a weekday and my friends and I just do dinner, I spend about 2,000 yen. Recently, I've been hanging out at my friends' houses as well. So we save so much money when we're just hanging out at one of our places. I like that sometimes we go to a cafe and we just work and we just do work. It's fun. Doing that, we just pay for maybe a drink or two at Starbucks, and then afterwards we'll get lunch. So I spend about 1,500 yen doing that. Yeah, so in total for socializing, I maybe spend about 6,000 yen a month. Okay, next is food, and if you don't already know, I'm a huge foodie, so I like to splurge on really good quality food. Let's start with breakfast. So some weeks I am good with eating breakfast, and then other weeks I am not. When I'm good with eating breakfast, it's because I went to the supermarket. My breakfast usually consists of yogurt, bread, jam, and eggs. This usually lasts me for about a week, so in total I spend about 3,000 yen a month for going to the supermarket and buying those items, as well as those times when I don't buy those items and I just buy a random snack to hold me until lunchtime. So for lunchtime, usually during the week, Tuesday through Friday, because I'm out, there's usually nowhere for me to microwave my food or to prepare my food, so I usually just have to buy my lunch. I probably spend about 1,500 yen for lunch, which is about $15, and oftentimes I can go above that. Sometimes I spend 2,000 yen, sometimes 2,200 yen for lunch, but it's because oftentimes lunch is probably the only meal that I will eat, because I don't really eat breakfast regularly and I don't really eat dinner regularly. So for lunch, I want to eat something that's big, that's going to hold me because I didn't eat breakfast, and that's going to hold me in the evening, because I usually work in the evenings, late afternoon to evenings. So I want something that's going to hold me, and I want something that's delicious because I think I deserve it. Of course, there are lunches that are not this expensive, so I can easily find lunches that are less than 1,000 yen. But because I usually eat one meal, I want it to be ample. So in total, I probably spend about 18,000 yen a month for lunch. Moving on to dinner, I'm pretty bad at eating dinner because oftentimes maybe I get home too late where I don't feel like cooking and I'm just tired, so I'll just go to sleep. Or sometimes I'll just go to the convenience store and I'll buy dinner bento boxes, prepared homemade-ish food, and those average for about 600 yen. So in total, I spend about 7,000 yen a month for those little dinner bentos, and I buy them about 3 times a week. So in total for everything, my food, socializing, transportation, living expenses, I spend about 113,600 yen a month on living. And again, this is a very, very rough estimate, and this is only for myself. If you notice, I did not include any shopping expenses. I am not a shopaholic. I only buy things if what I have is completely falling apart, because I can always rationalize not buying things, and I hate waiting on people and I hate waiting on things. If you go shopping, even if it's for something small, that's something that I don't do. So you may have to factor that into your expenses. Again, this is only a rough estimate to how much I spend. I was kind of in shock with the food budget, by the way. Like, whew, I think that's about accurate. Maybe I spend a little bit more. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and hit that little bell notification to know every time I upload a video. In addition, if you have any further questions about how I came to live in Japan, how I got food in Japan, like anything Japan related, and how you can get anything that you see in anything in my videos, please check out my free infographic in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye!